would jump on here and see if anybody has any questions. I found this at the grocery store. It's coconut and almond milk blend. And I normally just drink almond milk. Oh, sorry, coconut milk. I don't think almond milk is as great as we think it is. But anyway, toasted coconut. I'm going to try this bad boy out, see what happens. That's delicious, dude. Coconut milk's where it's at, man. It's a lot better for you, too. I don't know about the almond part. Anyway, what's up? Got some people watching. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you, buddy. Just putting away some groceries. Thought I'd check in with you guys and see if I can answer a few questions or encourage somebody for just a second. I'm learning to multitask, do multiple things at the same time. What's up, Crystal? What's up? Hello, Halo. Good to see you guys. I also eat this stuff. It's a coconut yogurt alternative, and it's a lot better than just regular yogurt that has a ton of sugar in it. I don't know that this has too much sugar. 17 grams, actually. That's not great. But anyway, but it's just a lot better for you. I think, is it cane sugar? Yeah. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Ask a few questions if you have any. I'll try to answer one or two. So I'm putting up these groceries. Got me a sweet tater. You just put it in the microwave. Microwavable is where it's at. Wiggly Sniff. Very interesting name. Can OCD put you in a trauma state? Yeah, for sure. Because, in fact, I just got off a coaching call with a client who asked that exact same question. And he asked, can you think yourself into a trauma state, which is a state of nervous system overwhelm? And I said, absolutely. The mind is very powerful. It really is. In fact, the second time that I started to experience trauma symptoms, I was sitting underneath my porch and I was visualizing financial collapse because I used to worry about money all the time. Now I never worry about money, but I used to worry about it all the time. And I was kind of visualizing, what if I lost everything? And then bam, that was the drop of water that caused the cup of water to overflow, right? That's what caused me to enter a trauma state. And then DPDR kicked in and time felt distorted, and the whole thing happened again years later after the first time that I went through it for about a year or so. Chap says, do you really feel like your old self after you heal? Yeah, you sure do. Yeah. I think it's even better. I mean, there's like that initial, my refrigerator is barking at me. Do you guys' refrigerator does that? Does your refrigerator do that where it's like beep, beep? It's like, bro, calm down. Our cars yell at us now if we're not wearing our seatbelt. Our refrigerators yell at us if we don't close it. Like, come on. But yeah, you definitely feel the same. But even if you really do the work and get to the root of what's going on in your body and life that's creating the nervous system dysregulation, you can even experience post-traumatic growth, which is where you walk away even stronger. And so, you've got like a new sense of appreciation. Hold on one second. My wife just got home. Anyway, so yeah, you feel like your old self, but even better because of the growth that you had to go through to get free of symptoms. King, your thoughts on Harris Harrington's way of helping with DPDR? I never hear his name anymore. I did whenever I first started this. He was like one of two people that were kind of talking about, depersonalization, realization. I haven't heard his name in a couple years. But, he acknowledged that DPDR were from trauma, but I don't think his approach was very effective, though. I never really heard too many people that had success with it. I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him. I don't know anything about him. Hey, my baby girl. Hey, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi. Yes. She is my whole world. What are you doing? Did you have a good day? Yeah? Yeah? Hey, Josie, you want to say hi to my YouTube audience? You want to say hi?
Sure.
Say hi.
Hey.
But anyway, yeah. Johanny says anger management. I don't believe in anger management. I think you just need to release it in a healthy way. Buy a punching bag. Seriously. Release it. What do you need, baby girl? What do you want? What is it? Yeah? Anyway, I didn't know that they were going to get home right now, so I probably got to go, guys. But just release it in a healthy way is what I would say. I wouldn't try to manage it. It's really adrenaline that's getting released into your body. Yeah, TRE is great. Wonderful. No, it's if I'm not answering your question, it has nothing to do with you. It's just because I don't think that it's going to help a lot of people. I try to answer only the questions that I feel like would help a lot of people. Anyway, I got time for one more, guys. What's up, Crystal? Good to see you. Living like Caleb says, the part of it I hate so much is that my brain just doesn't ever want to think and process anything logically. It always thinks the absolute worst and that I have some rare anxiety that nobody has. Yeah, that's part of catastrophic risk assessment. Whenever your body is in fight or flight response, your brain will go into catastrophic risk assessment and feed you with all kinds of catastrophic scenarios. And, I just got off a coaching call with a guy literally 10 minutes ago before this call. And he was like, yeah, man, I feel like I'm alone and I'm the only one going through this. And I'm like, he described what his fears were. And I'm like, this is all I do all day is talk to people about these fears. Like, you're not experiencing anything that's unique. And he was like, oh, thank God. But it's like your brain, your anxious brain will make you think that you're the only person in the world that is going through it. And it's not true, right? They're not your thoughts. It's just your survival brain feeding you with a bunch of stuff. So can a panic attack cause nervous system overwhelm? You better believe it. In fact, the first time that I struggled with DPDR, it was a panic attack because of marijuana that induced it. Now, it was a bunch of other stuff paired with that. I had a very stressful life, and I had a lot of buildup in my body. And so, that's complex trauma, right? It wasn't just one situation. But yeah, my heart was pounding, and my thoughts were racing, and I thought I was going to die. And so that paired with the existing tension, adrenaline, emotion, fatigue in my body caused overwhelm. And trauma happens at the point of overwhelm. It happens whenever you feel trapped, which, by the way, guys, blueberry coffee creamer, it's just where it's at. But anyway, trauma happens at the point of overwhelm. And a lot of, even if they're just a generalized anxiety sufferer, a lot of people that experience panic attacks will experience trauma symptoms like DPDR when they're having panic attacks. And so they're going into a trauma state. Now, the clients that I work with, typically they're in a trauma state all the time. Not always, but they're constantly in a trauma state. So there's a lot of buildup. No, emotions are not released all at once, usually. Usually it happens in waves. So, and depending on how severe the emotion is or the situation, it can take, days or weeks sometimes to process it. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, if you follow me on Instagram, but I got a new sauna. It's pretty freaking cool. It's a traditional sauna, so it's the one that you pour the water on the rocks. I did have an infrared sauna, and I really didn't like it at all. Just made me feel terrible. I don't know. It's hard to explain. The heat is just different. I literally have been getting in that freaking sauna 2 times a day. And yeah, I've wanted one my whole life. Whenever I was a kid, we used to travel like to hotels and stuff, and they would have like I guess it's called a dry sauna. Anyway, so I've got a lot of nostalgia with it too, just kind of pouring water on the rocks and stuff. And now my kids get to experience the sauna, and it's really, really cool. So yeah, it's kind of messy, but I built a home gym. Got some dumbbells, got a workout machine, got a treadmill. That's why I'm so ripped right now. Not, I need to work out. We haven't actually got to work out too much since I built this. I just finished it not long ago, but anyway. What are your thoughts on medication? I can't really give thoughts on medication just because, I'm just a regular guy. Thanks, King. What are your plans for the summer? So we are actually going on a cruise, and I'm going to take ownership of it. I have not taken my wife on enough big vacations. Did I say that right? On enough big vacations. And basically, we got a really, really nice room on the cruise ship. So we're pretty stoked about that. I think it's going to be a 7-day cruise, and we're going to go to a couple different countries. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I work very, very hard, and I deserve a break. With your leather jacket and chain, you look like a detective, says LA. That is so funny. Yeah, I was going to say something clever. I can't think of anything. I'm here to do an investigation of your nervous system. Put your hands up. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. I'm excited about it. Guys, I literally live and breathe helping my clients, and even you guys. I don't think nobody will ever understand. Just I literally day and night am either helping people or being with my family. My whole life is just poured out, and it's so rewarding, and I love it. But I need a cruise, man. I need to just sit on a boat and just chill. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, the bow. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I've got a little thing that you shoot arrows into, whatever you call it too. That's a lot of fun. Phil says I'd love to go to the Maldives sometime. I've seen video of that. That would be awesome. Oh, thanks, Phil. Tankarudo says that sounds fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, they're really cool, man. Were you ever outside of America? Yeah, on a cruise. So this is my second cruise, and the first one. So I've also been to Canada. I've got a friend and mentor that lives in Canada, but I think it was Mexico on the cruise or whatever. But I actually heard a horror story the other day of somebody who went to an excursion, which is when you go on a cruise, you pay for excursions, which is you go into different countries, and there's little stuff that you can do. And these people, this group, they didn't make it back to the ship in enough time. And so the ship actually left, and they didn't have their passports. One guy had money out of 6 of them. And they were basically stranded in this country. And they even went on a boat to the cruise ship, and for some reason the captain didn't even let him back. Didn't let him back on. Yeah. King says, I've never met anyone in real life who's had DPDR. Yes, you have. They just probably don't know what it is. You would be surprised at how many people have experienced depersonalization and derealization that just never knew what to call it. I cannot tell you how many times that I've been explaining these symptoms to people in my personal life, and they're like, oh, yeah, I remember one time, right? I even had a guy that I worked with. He was like, that's what that's called? He's like, I experience that all the time right before bed, but then I just go to sleep and it goes away. And I was like, well, so there's a lot more people. In fact, statistically, which this is a pretty old statistic, and I don't think that it's accurate at all, but this statistic said that over 50% of people will experience depersonalization, realization at some point in their life. And I also want to say this, guys, I'm not the DPDR guy. I know that everybody thinks that, and I understand why, But like I help people with so many things. I had this guy the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I'm having some relationship issues," and I was like, he's like, "I know you don't. You're just like DPDR and anxiety and stuff." And I was like, "Do you know how many relationships that I've helped people with? Like, in order to help with anxiety and DPDR, you have to help people fix their life. So I have to help with so many different things whenever I'm working with somebody. Like, there's not very much that you're going to be able to ask me that I won't be able to help with. But if I can't help, I'll direct you to somebody who can. But yeah, you have to help people fix their life. And I have the benefit of having been through just so much crap. Like, I lived most of my life in some sort of symptoms, went through all kinds of just trauma and just all kinds of issues. And so I've had to learn how to overcome a lot of challenges. So it's kind of cool that I get to impart that to people. Crystal, yeah, narcissistic abuse, it's one of those hard things because it's like I've thought about creating a channel specific for that and kind of talking about narcissistic abuse as it relates to trauma, because I love helping people heal from that. I've been through it multiple times, and it is absolutely just debilitating to go through and even heal from. But I don't like talking about it too much on this channel just because if people haven't gone through it, it kind of, you know what I mean? But yeah, but if you have a specific question, I'm happy to answer. Is heartbreak a common or one of the reasons for depersonalization realization? So depersonalization realization are dissociative symptoms. Dissociation means to sever or separate. So they are designed to separate you from your body and your life. And if you have a heartbreak, that's going to translate into a lot of negative emotions in your body. Emotions are experienced in the form of physical sensations in the body. And that could build up to the point where you reach a state of traumatic emotion and it induces a trauma response. Sure. Yeah. In fact, I've got this girl that I'm working with, bless her heart. She's just been through a really hard life, and she signed up to work with me. And then like 3 days later, she went through a breakup. And so now I'm having to help her heal from that as well. I've got a framework to heal from breakups, though, that I sent her that's going to help a lot. But I told her, and I tell you guys, like, whenever you guys start healing from anxiety and trauma, life doesn't stop. I would love to tell you that, you know, like you make that decision to heal, and then life is like, oh, okay, well, Crystal's taking this seriously, so we're going to hold off. She's not going to get sick. She's not going to go through betrayal. She's not going to go through letdown. Like, no, guys, like life still happens to you. And if I'm working with somebody, you know, it seems like there's at least one tough life situation that happens before they're fully recovered, you know, whatever that may be. And then that's just added on to already so much buildup in their body and nervous system. So well, I have to go probably. Got to get back to putting up my groceries. I just kind of left them there. Yep. See if I can answer one more question. Yeah, so it's a good question, Hallow. I don't know that that would be something that a lot of people would benefit from. Maybe, though. Okay, I'll answer it. Yeah, I don't need to be leaving the groceries. I put most of them up. Can I briefly talk about the process of heartbreak? It depends on why it's happening, right? I mean, heartbreak is objective, but also pretty subjective, meaning like why do you have heartbreak? But let's just say, for example, that you were broken up with, right? Well, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be extremely irrational. You're going to have extreme emotion, and you're probably going to do everything that you can to get them back, even if maybe it was a good thing that the relationship ended. And the best thing to do is to face and feel the emotion, but most people don't do that. And they try to numb the emotion. And the worst thing that somebody can do when they're going through heartbreak is get into another relationship. I cannot tell you how many times that I coach somebody that's in a terrible relationship because they got with that person right after they went through a previous relationship. And instead of going through that process of healing, growing, identifying, why the relationship didn't work out, processing their emotions, learning how to be happy by themselves, that's the best thing to do if you're dealing with heartbreak in addition to releasing the emotion, is frame it as an opportunity to learn how to be self-sufficient. Sometimes what causes a bunch of relationship issues is people don't know how to be happy by themselves. And so whenever the relationship crumbles, they crumble, right? And so if you're going through heartbreak, use it as an opportunity to learn how to be happy by yourself. Because if you can just go even 3 to 6 months and you're happy by yourself before you get into another relationship, it will bring so much stability in future relationships. Because if things go wrong in the relationship, you'll be like, you know what? If this doesn't work out, I can always go back to being by myself. I learned how to thrive by myself. So most people don't go through that. I did go through that. I went through a really bad breakup before I met my wife. And I wasn't even with the girl for very long. But, the breakup revealed to me that I had a lot of emotion that I needed to process. It revealed to me that I didn't know how to be happy by myself. And I paused relationships for a little while before I got with my wife. And I literally loved my life. I was so excited about my life. Every morning I'd make breakfast. I started making pancakes, and I'd have little strawberries and try to stack them up and stuff. I'd go for a morning walk. I would listen to an audiobook. I started hitting the gym, and I started to just really focus more on my clients and just be like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to thrive by myself. And whenever my wife came along, it was great because she was happy by herself. I was happy by myself. The best relationships are whenever you both have a life independent of each other. I think codependence is good to a degree. I've got some codependency on my wife, and she's got codependency on me. But we're also independent. We also have our own lives. And so if you can be independent and codependent in a relationship, it just helps out so much. It makes the relationship a lot more stable because you're not so dependent on that person to make you happy. You shouldn't look to another person to make you happy. You should be happy by yourself, and the person just adds to your happiness. My wife is not the sole source of my happiness, right? And she knows this, and I'm not the sole source of her happiness, and I don't want it to be that way. I want her to have her own life and to be making herself happy, and I just come in as the cherry on top and make her even more happy, and vice versa. That works out really well. But whenever you are codependent on people and there's no independence whatsoever, as soon as there's issue in the relationship, you become very unstable. What's up, CR7? Yeah, so good question. We first would have to kind of check out. I really appreciate you just wanting to get right to the, the cost and everything. Jump on a call with me and my team. I'm actually taking some calls now too, just to help out because we got so many people wanting to work with us. Go to the 5 Shifts Still from Trauma Masterclass. There's a link in any of the videos. Click apply, book a call. Let's hear a little bit of your situation first. I can't promise anything yet. We got to make sure that we're the best fit for your situation. But of course, we'll get right to the cost of everything, and just want to ask a few questions, make sure we can help you. And then we'll go over everything with you. Okay. And by the way, I'm not ashamed anymore, guys. It wasn't that I was ashamed. I was a bit timid. I didn't want to ever come off as this you need to work with me and all that stuff, because I see people do that and it's just cringe. So I kind of went the opposite extreme where I never talked about my program, and I never, kind of talked about the results. And I started to realize, the people that are, in my opinion, not even helping that many people, they're really good salespeople, but then people get into their program and it's not that great. They're not afraid to talk about their stuff. So I'm actually helping people. I'm not going to be intimidated anymore. I'm not going to be ashamed anymore, timid anymore. I'm going to tell you, my program is freaking changing people's lives. People are coming into it that have been suffering for decades and are able to see the most profound freaking results. And no, we can't work with everybody, but we've got a lot of options, guys. And if you want to have me on your team helping you, I would be honored to check out your situation. And so, yeah, apply if you're interested. But regardless, we've got the 45-minute masterclass that you can watch that's going to help you out a lot. So, and you can watch that and click the link in any of my videos. Do you deal with complex trauma? That is pretty much most of what we're helping with. We are starting to get more generalized anxiety sufferers come to work with us, so they're not necessarily at a state of trauma, which is significantly easier to help with than complex trauma, but it's the same recovery path ultimately. But yeah, we specialize in complex trauma and depersonalization, realization. Those are definitely like people that have a very painful history. They've been through a lot of stress over a lot of years, and their symptoms are pretty much 24/7 or just constant. Maybe they're episodic, but they're just constant. They've been through the mental health system, they've been through the medical system, and they've tried popular programs, and nobody seems to help. And then they come work with us, and all of a sudden, they're able to see results. Why? Well, mainly because of co-regulation, because I know how they feel. And I'm able to build hope in people in a very significant way because I've been there. I've helped people that, I mean, the amount of times that I've worked with somebody that even I was concerned, right? Because of just how severe the situation is. And it doesn't happen anymore, but especially early on in my career. And then they still got out of it. Like I've just seen so many people that the situation seemed hopeless and they still got out of it that I have so much confidence now to help people and they feel that hope and it just works. Now there's other things we do too, of course, but co-regulation is a big one. All right, guys. Phil says, love hearing the birds in the background. Yes, I do too. It's a beautiful, beautiful time of year. I'm actually going to go for a run today. I just went and bought a water pack, actually. It's right here. See that? I can't see in the sun. Can you guys see that? Anyway, you fill it up with water. It's kind of expensive, dude. It's like $50, but anyway. See? You put it on you and just kind of like... Sweet. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. I mean, this is the only color that they had, but anyway, I'm pretty stoked about it. All right, guys. CR7, check out the 5-shift Still from Trauma Masterclass. That'll really give you the basic 5 shifts that you need to make, buddy. And, yep, hope that helps. All right, guys, hope you have a good day. I do got to jump off here. I got to finish those groceries, and hopefully they're not spoiled at this point. And I hope you guys are enjoying these lives. You know, if you keep showing up to them, keep asking great questions, I'll keep doing them. And I hope they're adding some value. So, talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Phil. CR7, hello, LA, OCKY, Phil, King, anybody else who's left, hello. Good to see you guys. Take care. Crystal, if you're still watching, take care.